Hi, guys. I'm Dr. Kimberly Olson. I'm here to talk with you today about nepotism. It seems like that's sort of back in the news. We have always known about nepotism, of course, that going back to royalty, bloodline, things like that. But most of the time when we hear about it today, it's in reference to this idea that someone is getting privileged treatment based on not what they know, but who they know. So I was really thinking about it, especially after I saw an article in Cosmo about Nepo babies. And they were talking about, of course, the pop stars and their kids and the actors and their kids and all that kind of stuff. And, we sneer a little bit. I mean, at least folks of the middle class like myself, at this idea of, well, you didn't ever had to really work for it, that kind of thing, until I got accused of nepotism, which made me giggle, number one, because I have no money. I'm middle class. So what the hell are you talking about, nepotism? Well, I tend to promote from within at work. And the reason that I do that is, number one, I know that this person does the job well. I know they fit with the culture. They've already proven themselves. And truly, and those of you that are in the hiring business, you know that a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? So you already know how this person rolls and that they're already a fit. And so while hiring may not always seem fair, to the extent that this person has worked with you before, it is also only common sense that you're going to look to someone who's already demonstrated their ability to do the job, right? Well, this person did not feel that promoting from within, or they felt that promoting from within and nepotism were in fact the same thing. So I decided to look up the definition. Okay, ready? It's straight from Wikipedia. Nepotism is the act of granting an advantage, privilege, or position to relatives or close friends in an occupation or field. And again, I had to sit back and really think about that. A lot of people that I work with end up being friends, but they're not getting the position because they're friends. They're colleagues who have proven themselves qualified and capable of doing the job. So they do get a degree of privilege. So I'm thinking, as most of you who are reasoning through common sense, of course, that's going to make sense. But then I started thinking about sort of this broader picture of nepotism, right? And aren't we all beneficiaries of nepotism? So just think about it for a second. So when my kid turned 16, we gave her our old beater truck, right? The old beat up truck. And here in Cali, you got to have transportation. And she got that from us because she's our kid. Now, most of us are not going to look at that as traditional nepotism because, well, it's an old beat up truck. Well, ask the poor kid whose parents can afford to help them like that, whether or not that's nepotism or privilege based on who your relatives are. And I started thinking about how different is that, us giving our kid the old beater pickup truck to someone who's quite wealthy giving their kid a Bentley. Okay, we're both giving them a car, right? It's just that they have a much bigger bankroll than we have. It strikes me as being of human nature to want to help your children and your relatives. I was also thinking about a time when I was in private practice and I hired my daughter to be my secretary. Now, very competent, very capable, but absolutely out of all the competent, capable people I know, I selected her because she's my kid and I trust her. And why not her if I'm doing the employing and the paying? And I can see again where that is, in fact, nepotism too, right? That's a secretary's job. It's not the CEO of a Fortune 500 company because I don't have that kind of payroll. But aren't we all guilty of this? Don't we all benefit from who we know, whether that's a small degree or to a large degree? right? So it may be the case that our sneering at nepotism has more to do with the bankroll than the actual principle. So just give it some thought, because I'm going to be willing to bet if you're a parent watching this, you've done things to help your kid get ahead, right? Whether it's paying for their college or, again, helping them with transportation, getting them that SAT prep course or whatever it is, that you've done things to help them. But again, I don't think that that's necessarily the same thing as people receiving privilege when they're not worthy or qualified. So please, I'm just curious about what your thoughts are. And of course, you're welcome to disagree. Just be respectful about it. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Thanks. Bye-bye.